Got it. We are live streaming. Away we go. Traumas and memories. Today we're talking about the healing power of self-discovery. So here's another packed with practical wisdom teachings video. Wisdom teachings that you can apply right now in your life. That's my wish, is that you walk away from watching these. Your time is important and it's pressure. It's very precious. I don't want to waste not 1 second of it. So today we're talking about when we're hurt and or traumatized, it's natural for us to go into that self-protection by numbing, building armor over our feelings so we don't feel. And then there comes a time that starts to shift and change. We feel something inside of us. We start having glimpses of memory. That's when we know it's time to awaken the wise woman within. I'm Linda Babulic, and I'm dedicated to sharing wisdom teachings to bring zest to today's executive women. And I consider you all executives. Are you an executive of your own life? Yes, you are, because you're in charge. You know, back to our trauma, have you ever had like memories just start to pop into your mind and you can't quite see the whole picture? You know that something isn't right because you can feel it in your body. Well, recently I was working with someone, and this is exactly the situation she was in. She was getting, just a second, I need to turn this on. She was getting glimpses of, and she couldn't quite put the picture together because she had huge blanks. So she did what most of us would do, and that's she went to ask where to people that she knew, and particularly to her family, what had happened to her. So I'm getting these memories, and her mother denied that anything like that could have happened to her, and that she was imagining the sexual abuse. You know, have you ever wished that you could gain that deeper understanding of the trauma and those memories that come up? You know, sometimes we just want to dig a little too deep. Sometimes it's good that we don't remember all the details. Could you imagine if we could remember our birth, being born? It would take us a lifetime to unravel that. So in my experience, we remember or we find out about something at a time when we're able to process it, not before. You'll find out somebody said something about you, somebody did something, but it's only when you're able to deal with it. You go, why is that coming up now? Because if it would have come up 6 months or 6 years ago, you didn't know how to deal with it. I've been reading David Hamilton's latest book, Why Woo Woo Works. He says knowing ourselves can mean acknowledging our pain instead of burying it, making friends with ourselves and how we feel, learning that it's okay to not feel okay. Focusing on the positives is great for helping us feel more positive, he says, but there are times when that's not possible. Times when pain or trauma have neared the surface, and that's what I'm talking about, and they have to be dealt with in another way. While some degree of pain can be transmuted by a more positive focus, that which is more deeply held needs a greater level of self-awareness and an exploration of our feelings. As I say in my book on page 117, everything starts in the emotional body, and it can then manifest in the physical body. And if you need proof of this, just think about a time when you're giving bad news. First, your feelings are upset, and then you felt it in your body, possibly crying or shaking or both. Or you witness something, car almost crashes, and you get that feeling, it goes from the emotional into the physical. I went on my first vision quest in 2003. I studied shamanism formally for 4 years, and the shamanic teachings and practices set the stage for me to do exactly what David Hamilton is talking about, to achieve a greater level of self-awareness and exploration of my feelings. And one of the techniques that I use, that I learned there, is the cord cutting ceremony. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment. And by doing the cord cutting, the traumas and the memories, they lost their energetic charge. I stopped carrying stories that kept me on that codependency triangle of victim, persecutor, rescuer. And I moved to the empowerment triangle of challenger, listener, and supporter. The more you get to know yourself, the more you can appreciate that a mystical, magical person that you are, and you learn to love yourself in the deepest way possible. There's a place of transcendence where your fears and your traumas and your memories, they get sorted and they get understood as allies to have you fulfill your karmic book of life lessons. Remember, we talked about karma and dharma. Karma, you have life lessons to learn. These are all allies to move you further on your evolution of self-discovery and self-knowing. Then you can step into a place of courage, confidence, and self-empowerment to face life changes and challenges with grace and ease. You'll be stronger emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. You get to ask your higher self, how can I play the bigger game that I was meant to play? You know, you have a sacred contract to fulfill. And to step into that healing power of self-discovery and trust that you are in charge of your life, your days, and your legacy. So what's that going to look like and feel like? It's up to you. Make it delicious and zesty. You know, we must heal ourselves, and we can heal 7 generations behind us. Yes, our ancestors, our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, and our great-great-grandmothers. And the beauty is we can heal 7 generations going forward, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, so that they're free of the cellular memories of the traumas and the memories and the trauma dramas of our ancestors. We don't want them to go through life with our junk, nor the junk that we brought into our lives. You know, when we heal ourselves, we heal those around us. And when we heal those around us, we heal the world. And the technique that I mentioned, the cord cutting, I use this with myself and others, and you can use this too. So we're going to take a few breaths. And you want to gather all those messy trauma, drama, all of that together. So, you know, your navel, your chi area, that's where your cords are tied. So you want to pull them all around you, pull it in from wherever you need to pull it into, and pull it out. Hold it. And then you can symbol all of those memories. Or if it's one person, you probably have more than one thread attached to them. So pull that all together. And then with a big, deep breath and power of the side of your arm, like it was the sharpest knife you ever saw, sort of like the one I cut my finger with the other day, just cut and say it out loud. I cut from you. I cut from your passive aggressive behavior. I cut from that memory. I cut from the trauma. I cut from the pain. And then let it go. And you may have to do it. You may have to do that more than once. Cord cutting doesn't happen just once because it's always, you'll start to remember things. You go, I've got a technique for that. Linda showed me how. I can cut those cords and it's gone. You can, you know, keep it there. It's not, we don't want your memory to erase. We want you to now turn them into allies, into that empowerment triangle. And when that starts to shift and change, we feel something and we ignore it. You know, that vibration we just talked about, it gets stronger and stronger. It's like, oh no, I'm not going to look at that. The wise woman within starts to scream, wake up, wake up. It's time to awaken. You've been hiding long enough. It's time for the healing power of self-discovery. And those voices may come to you that say you're being selfish. Trust me, you are not. That's part of you discovering who you are so that you could build a better world. Check out my other videos where I shared about dressing for blessing, oracle cards, chakras, creating sacred space, and more. I'm packing in as much as I can in these short videos. Send me a note or a comment if there's something you particularly like, or you want me to expand on it, or a new topic. I'll see you soon. Take care. And thanks for watching.